Right, guys, in this video, we're going to be going over a new Facebook ad feature primarily on Instagram that is kind of a game changer when it comes to how much your ads are going to cost and your purchases and the quality of your leads and the traffic that you're producing. So last week, Facebook introduced multi-advertiser ads on Instagram. And essentially what these are the ads which also feature ads from other businesses that are complementary to what you're advertising. So can you see that? Okay, right. Multi-advertiser ads in Instagram feed allow businesses to be discovered by people who have shown commercial intent by engaging with relevant businesses' content and are in a shopping mindset. This format leverages Meta's machine learning to show ads that we think may be interested to people in the moment and help people discover, consider, and buy products. Enabling the multi-advertiser format makes your ad eligible to appear alongside ads from multiple advertisers, including, in some instances, ads from related or complementary businesses. So we've got some examples down here. So you could be advertising this handbag, and then below your ad, you see, recommended other sponsored ads. So they say they could be complementary, but we can't see how food's complementary to handbags in this situation. So in my opinion and Tom's opinion, this is not a good step for Facebook. We feel like they're grabbing the kind of final straws left in their business of just how they can increase their revenue. Mark Zuckerberg's lost 100 billion in net worth over the past year. He was worth 130 billion a year ago. Now he's worth 30 something billion. And I think this is a very good representation of them struggling to bring in the revenue and to be a good advertising platform. Essentially, why I think they've done this is, say you're on the platform for 10 minutes at a time. If they have this feature enabled, you're going to see more ads, which means your cost per 1,000 impressions is going to decrease, which makes them more money and makes it seem like the platform's a lot better, essentially. They also say here that they've done large-scale back-end studies to showcase that this multi-level, this multi-advertiser ads bring in more purchases. However, who's it bringing more purchases for? Because I really don't think it's going to be bringing more purchases for this advertiser. It may be bringing in more purchases from on a kind of a wider perspective, but for these, it's not. And for me, this is almost like you're now competing directly with your competitors if they get this side of things wrong. For example, this company here is advertising a handbag. If they also show handbags from other companies because they get it wrong, why would you want to be doing that? Why would you want to spend your ad budget directly competing with the same product from other businesses? And if that is the case and they do get that wrong, and this isn't a complementary kind of selection of other ads, and you're competing with competitors that sell the same products as you, it's then going to come down directly to your offer. So the offer is going to be the only thing that makes you stand out in this ad selection or ad placement. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line of it. You can turn this feature off on the ad level, but it is on by default, so you will have to turn it off. That being said, if you do turn it off, that's not to say that your ads won't appear here. So, yeah,
and I suspect the cost of turning it off is higher. You'll probably get a higher cost per click, but it's an interesting one. I think you said, Harry, like it's not a last attempt, but Instagram, Meta, Facebook, they are trying desperately to improve their ad results, because it is common knowledge now that getting results on the Meta platforms is incredibly difficult. It comes down to largely your offer, your creative, and they've lost so much value. So now, because everyone's migrating more towards video platforms, because everyone's gorging on video content like TikToks, YouTube, etc. We've become, as a as humans, we've become desensitized to ads and content. So what used to be a static post that would get lots of likes and views and people would scroll through carousels, people are not behaving in the same way in 2022 as they were in 2017, 2018. Therefore, when they see ads, we're desensitized to ads because we have so many. So what I guess what Meta are doing now is they're trying to show more ads in one go because they know they haven't got as much of your time. You're on Instagram, you're scrolling quicker than anything else. You're going through stories to find the people you like rather than the content you like. And there's very little opportunity. So they're obviously merging everyone together so you have a swing shot at it. And it's kind of the fittest survives, basically, attitude.
Yeah, I think it's everything that you're seeing now, not just in terms of Facebook ads and digital marketing, even when it goes down to the recession, everything that's happening is a result of what happened a year ago. For example, all of these changes that are happening with Facebook are a result of iOS 14 that came out a year and a bit ago. Like that is the leading cause of all of these changes, because it fucked up all of the targeting, because it fucked up advertising on those platforms. Now you're seeing them try and reinvent the wheel to bring back their revenue. And I think this is an attempt to help them bring in revenue and not the advertisers. I can't see how that at the moment is really going to help advertisers, you know, you and I, anyone who owns an agency or businesses, bring in more revenue. I think that's just an attempt to increase the value of their platform to them.
It's no wonder that, well, video ads are becoming, I respond better to video ads as a person. You know, when I do, because half the time I don't even know it's an ad. I see it as a TikTok. So if I'm on TikTok or sometimes on Reels, but I don't think, again, Instagram have got the Reels bit right. It's what TikTok was 2 years ago in the pandemic. It's not moved forward, in my opinion. But, you know, video ads on TikTok and on YouTube, I respond better because most things are from a third person point of view. So it's someone saying, I've used this service, look how good my teeth are, or look how good this watch is, or, you know, look, this supplement has done X, Y, Z for me. So most ads are coming from a third person point of view, and the click-through rate is better. And not just that, to advertise on TikTok, it is cheaper. Like, it's way more cost effective. So and that's because it's less saturated. But I think people are responding better to video ads. And when ads are disguised as TikToks too, and you actually don't, there was a couple recently that I was on TikTok and I was really interested because they were talking about something that was very interesting about a product. And I had to look down to see if it was a promoted post. I was like, oh shit, this is an ad. And I was really impressed, and actually made me click through. Because me and you click through on ads to see what the landing page is like and to see what the journey's like. And I clicked through, and it went to a fucking dog shit landing page, which is a real shame because they got the front end bit done, top of the funnel, and then middle of the funnel was completely broken. So it shows that the journey still has to be the same. But I think Instagram, I can see changing massively into a TikTok form because so many people are migrating over to that platform. I think the life of a static post is dying. I think it's actually kind of dead, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it is, mate. But I'm not discouraged by this at all. I'm really not. Like, if you're expecting to start an agency or an advertising business and your advertising stays the same for 10 years and your strategy stay the same, you're just delusional. That's never going to happen. Like, before all of these changes, there was loads of changes that people were saying the same for a year and a half ago. And I said, I
think to you at this point, sorry, mate, before I interrupt you, right? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think what people will be now wanting you to say now is, what are you now going to do about it? So, like, as an agency, Tom and Harry, this is the bit I think people find interesting.
Yeah.
Is what are we now going to do about that, mate? As an agency, that affects us, right? Mm-hmm. Because we've spoken offline about this.
Yeah.
What are we now, as two people who run a very successful 6-figure marketing agency, what the fuck are we going to do now if Instagram ads are declining?
We're already on all of the other platforms as it is. However, we're going to invest a lot of time and money into really, really developing our skills and developing our own strategies on Google, on YouTube, on TikTok. That's the only thing we can do. We're going to invest a lot of money And that's going to trickle down into our academy members, because they're going to find out the strategies that we've got the money to invest into these platforms to find out the strategies that work. And those academy members are going to find out what it is. And that's our next step. We're going to become, I mean, we already are, but we're going to spend a lot of time and money developing those strategies on those platforms, so we rely less heavily on Facebook and Instagram, because there's no need to rely as heavily on Facebook and Instagram when they're releasing features like this. And this isn't saying Facebook and Instagram are dead. We're still going to use Facebook and Instagram. We're still getting amazing results on Facebook and Instagram for a lot of our clients. However, you're silly to not see the signs that are there that the platform is struggling. Like, that's just a fact. So if you can migrate some of your clients or a lot of your clients onto these other platforms that get better results, yes, there might be a bigger barrier to entry there, because you've got to find, someone who can produce high quality TikToks for you, or your client might not be very good on camera to film YouTube ads. So that's a bigger barrier to entry. But that's for you to figure out. You've got to help your client hire someone on Fiverr to produce a TikTok ad, or connect with influencers, or whatever it is, to be able to put them in a position to succeed on those other platforms. And that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I agree. Like we use Google as an example. Like our business use Google ads, I don't know, 25%, I'd say. We'll probably now look to up that to 40.
Yeah. And
that's the difference. That's what I think people need to understand, is you've got to move with the changes. And, there's loads of people you can follow online who kind of help dictate those changes. Gary Vee's one of them. Me and you are big Gary Vee fans, and if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, Google him. But really great, humble guy, very knowledgeable about algorithms and social media, etc. But we can all see, if you're in this space, you can see very clearly the changes that happen, especially if you follow it and you're in the right space. Like, you've got to stay ahead of it. You can't rely. This is what we say. This is what we say in our, not just the academy, but we've made a lot of videos about this, mate, where we say you cannot in 2022 just start an agency running meta ads.
No,
you can't do it anymore. In 2018, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm sure you'll get to six figures doing one platform. These days, you really have to have multiple platforms. Your skill set, which you can all learn. Don't think you're fucked. You're really not fucked at this point. You can learn all this. You can learn TikTok ads. There's lots of we teach it in our academy, but TikTok ads, once you know it, it is a bit tricky, and the entry point is a bit higher because it's video based. So you have to get your clients on video. But once you learn that skill set and you understand how to manipulate the business manager, which is what me and you have got a good skill set in, then you're gold. You can run ads on TikTok. Google is complex, but you can learn it. We're human beings, and we are designed to learn and develop. So you just have to, it's like a football player just staying in one position all its career. Ronaldo started out on the right wing, and then he goes into central midfield, and then he goes up front. He's dynamic and he's changing.
And it's also like, are them footballers not turning up to training?
Not turning up to training, so you never get better. Yeah,
exactly. You can't run an agency and not train. Like, you've got to be developing your skills to keep up.
Yeah,
which is why it's also so important, mate, that unless you're binge watching some good people on YouTube to learn these changes, you're in the right place if you're watching us now, because you're learning about the new changes. But there's so many of these changes that we just simply don't have the time to put onto YouTube. So we just put them onto the academy, so we can help them. We can help our academy members. So that's it's so important that you're constantly learning. Otherwise, your agency is just really gonna slack. So guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to stay up to date with all the new Facebook and Instagram ad changes and anything changing in the SMMA industry, make sure you drop us a subscribe, because we'll be releasing all the new videos as the platforms change. And make sure you watched our previous video on how to stay positive when you're really, really struggling to sign a client. That'll be super useful if, like I say, you're struggling to sign a client, you're not making any progress. But yeah, watch that one, and then we'll see you tomorrow.